Well, I'm Grandfather Whitewolf, and I've been coming to the long dance now 5 years. And we just finished our fifth miracle for me, your 28th miracle. And I was inspired to come by my beautiful friend Alicia. And I feel like I adopted lung dance and lung dance adopted me. So it feels like part of my life. Um, it kind of grows on you like a tree. Each year I get something different out of it. I came because of Alicia, and I really come because of myself and because of my relationship to what I call my spiritual family, community, and especially my sisters, and how important that is. And each year has taught me something different. The first year taught me about learning to accept help. I'm trained medicine person. I call myself a non-traditional traditional. And I know how to protect the ceremony and protect people in ceremony. So that first year, we had a big group of men. We had about 16, 17 men. And I wasn't really connecting to anybody. And I was getting a little bored. And it was getting close to sundown. And they're getting ready for the ceremony on Saturday night. So I said, I'll take a walk and I'll just talk to the land and I'll just clean everything up. Because I'm sure somebody's done that before. Well, I got out my sage and my pipe and my tobacco, and I walked up the road and I walked and talked to every tree and was very happy and talked to the stones and talked to the creatures. And I got there and there's about 100 cars parked there. Well, I got time. I'll go clear the energy on all the cars. And then I get back to the camp, and by the time I get into the men's camp, all of a sudden I'm starting to feel really weak. And I was pale as ghost. I was sweating, and I almost fell in the fire, but Eric caught me. That's our nephew, and Paul. And then I just started throwing up and shaking, and ended up, that was really a great way to bring the men together. Because all of a sudden they were taking care of their elder. And elder didn't have a choice but to let people help them. And I think that's one of the dynamics of the world I grew up in. It was this individualism, which really is an illusion. It's really an illusion. We are all connected. There is a web of life. And I'm here to honor that connection, that it was a woman that carried me, that brought me into this world. Women are my sisters, my mothers, my aunties, my friends, my wives, lovers, many things to me. And as I learn the importance of that in my life, I feel my life becomes more peaceful, more balanced, more harmonious. And so this year was to the fifth year. I came and just excited to come. A little more prepared because I have some experience of what to expect, and I also this incredibly beautiful place and people. And it was about being willing to just be the elder. I have a lot of strength, a lot of life force, but my source is right here. right here, here, here. And I'm really tired. You know, and it was a smaller group of men this year. It was 10 men, which is the smallest group we've had. But I also feel really good about it because I felt each man, each brother, had a clear purpose, a clear intention for being here. I didn't feel any guy, well, I'm coming because of her, or I'm becoming because of. They came because there was something inside that spoke to them. And maybe a task to do, a job to do here, but there was something inside that called each of us here. And I felt that the men flowed. We flowed as a group, you know. There was something that needed to be done, and Spirit would think, no, you need to do that. Come on, you're bored, you're tired, but you know, you got the energy and you know how to do it. He's doing the videos and he's doing that. So we all backed each other up. And I always felt that. And that's so rare in this world, in this time, to see a group of men that really are non-competitive. Because that's what the world programs and teaches, competition, rather cooperation. This was really beautiful. And I rested. That's the first time I really did that. We had a little miscommunication, which was probably a perfect communication. And I thought, well, the first person to make a walk, I should go do that. After all, I got more experience, right? And Eric and Paul thought I was just going to go do that. And I thought, wait till midnight. So I sat up with the men till midnight, and it was great because we had our sharing and our time together and set the energy for the night. And at midnight, he took off. And then somebody realized we had miscommunicated, and they said, you know what? One of the men said something to me. He said, you know, if you don't let us help, we can't learn how to do it. And I thought, that's right. And I realized, yeah, I can see things, but you know, I can guard the dream world. I can do it from laying down. I've been doing it that long. And I slept really peaceful. And that meant everything was okay. They were on it. I didn't wake up feeling something's out. Where am I? What's wrong? You know, I'm in warrior mode, but in kind of a balanced, heightened state of awareness, but calm and peaceful. Warrior doesn't have to be, you know, the rage. It can be staying calm, peaceful, and centered and doing what we need to be doing and dancing together. So I felt it was awesome. And as long as Spirit guides me and gives me the ability to come, I will come, you know. And I will maybe come back when I have my 98th birthday here. Who is 88 or something? We're about 10 years apart, I think. You know? And this is important. Now, how this fits in with what I see happening in this time. This is very important. A couple of years ago, I did my first peyote ceremony in 22 years. That's a very powerful medicine for me. It's not in my DNA. You know, I'm Northern European. I don't think that cactus grows up there. Probably does now. Somebody probably found a way to get it to grow. So it was in a teepee. And in the middle of the night, in the ceremony, the physical world disappeared. And I was in the clouds. I'm like this. Whoa! Look at those wings. I'm as big as a 737. This is what people must be calling the Thunderbird here. And I'm flying and I'm looking through the eyes of this great bird. I feel like I'm one with this bird. And all that I saw happened so fast that I had no time to react to what I saw. But I saw some horrible things going to happen. I saw destruction. I saw wars. I saw upheavals. But I saw beauty and joy, and I saw people coming together like this, all at the same time. The new world can't come unless you make, the new way can't come unless you let the old go. It has to go. It's not working and it's not fixable. It's being destroyed. Whether it's destroying, I don't care why it's happening. And to me, this was one of the parts that I saw in that vision. And it's not just happening here, it's happening everywhere. Maybe not to the extent we have come, but people are seeking it. Everywhere they're seeking it. There are people who are seeking this, looking for community, looking for a way to bring it together, looking for a way to remember what their ancient agreements were. It's really simple. Air, earth, water, and fire. Ether, bringing it all together in sacred space. We all have ancient agreements with the Creator, with the earth, with the fire, with the water. And this is about recreating them. And about recreating relationships. And there's nothing more important than the balance of men and women, brothers and sisters. I think that's a really powerful, powerful beginning. And the beginning of community and tribe. We have to begin with that. Because I've seen communities literally destroyed because that balance was not there. I've seen it. And I've seen it more than once. 50 years ago, I saw a group that on the physical level seemed to have it all together. They had land, they had money, they incorporated as a religious order, they were a community, they had the bylaws, they had all the I's dotted, they had a business that supported the community. And I met them because of my first teacher. They asked her to come up and do a ceremony. And that ceremony was to put them back in touch with the ancient, with the earth itself. And within a year of that ceremony, the men and the women split. The women all moved out onto land and the teepees and tree houses, and the men stayed in the office and worked on the business. And the communication broke apart in the community, but the women also fell apart for other reasons. They weren't prepared to live with nature. They didn't have a spiritual grounding and a way to come together. And they thought drugs would help. But it didn't. It actually accentuated the issues. There's a place for the sacred medicines. But for a moment, we create a totally sacred place. We don't bring those into the womb. You know, I hold many medicines sacred. Tobacco, peyote, cannabis, alcohol, wachuma. But at this time, we come as ourselves. And I am so grateful to have a place where we can come without all of that, to just be ourselves. So thank you for the long dance. I'm in for the duration.